We got some massive news for AST Space Mobile and Verizon stock investors as the companies announced a deal that will have Verizon spending money on AST Space Mobile technology. I'm going to highlight the details of this announcement in this video. So AST Space Mobile has inked a new deal with Verizon to bring space-based cellular broadband across the United States, marking its most significant partnership to date and its latest move to capture a larger share of the emerging space to cellular market. So with each incremental deal like this, it's even bigger news for AST Space Mobile than it is for Verizon because of the size of the company. When you're an early stage company like AST Space Mobile, signing deals with established partners like Verizon gives you credibility on top of the revenue that it gives you in the arrangement. The question mark surrounding these kinds of arrangements is the larger companies usually secure very good deals for themselves at the expense of the smaller company because they have more negotiating power and they understand that making a deal with Verizon is a really big positive for AST Space Mobile, so they're willing to give more in exchange for the deal. So under this agreement, Verizon will integrate AST's satellite network with its infrastructure, using the 850 megahertz spectrum to extend coverage in remote areas where towers won't reach. Terms of the deal were not disclosed, and as they say, the devil's in the details. But this deal builds on an earlier partnership between the two entities announced last year, where Verizon made a $100 million commitment to support AST's service rollout. Verizon is the second major carrier to sign with AST following a 10-year agreement with Vodafone. For AST, the Verizon deal comes at a critical time as the company races to deploy its satellite designed to link directly with unmodified cell phones. So undoubtedly, it's great when AST Space Mobile is signing a deal with Verizon. It will move the company forward and it will help the company gain more capital, gain more access to capital because it now has a deal with Verizon. And so lenders and investors will be more willing to work with AST Space Mobile. Also, talented individuals will be more interested in joining AST Space Mobile if it has a deal with the largest providers of this kind of service, which are Vodafone, Verizon, etc. So strategically speaking, this is a huge positive for AST Space Mobile, and Verizon understands that. Click the link below to watch the full video.